This is the Peterson Auto Museum setup.
Without your love. Well, you know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and shout, throw my hands up and shout, throw my head back and shout. Come on now, shout, don't forget to say you, shout, shout, forget to say yeah, shout, yeah, yeah, yeah. Say you will, say it right now, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on, say.
Dancing along the road, we're going that heat.
I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
It is my pleasure to introduce Richard Martinez. Let's jump right into it. What should I look for in a wedding DJ?
I think there's 3 key things you should look for when you're hiring your wedding DJ. The first, of course, is asking what their experience is, if they've done weddings in the past, and if they're familiar with all of the formalities of a wedding, your grand entrance, your toasts, your first dances, bouquet and garter toss, all of those formalities. You want someone who's experienced and that can really make it stress-free for you and really help you with the flow of the wedding so you don't have to stress over that.
Sounds very eloquent, Richard. Thank you. And how does a DJ keep everyone on the dance floor?
That's a great question. A little known fact, to keep a dance floor full and exciting and all of your guests engaged throughout the wedding reception, it's really important to understand that your guests are going to dance in 20-30 minute intervals. No one's going to be on the dance floor for 2 hours straight. So when you're coming up with your itinerary and you're coming up with your timeline, it's really important to be aware of that so that you sprinkle throughout your wedding reception all the different ceremonial things like your toasts, and then you might want to do a half-hour dance break and then go into your bouquet and garter toss, etc., to keep the flow of the reception going.
All by design, a very well-planned strategic dance floor routine. I like Richard Martinez scheduling. All right, now on to the next question. How do I select music for my playlist?
I suggest two things. One, going through your own iPod or iPhone or your own music library to pick out the songs that you like most. The other thing I always recommend is I have a list. It's a very comprehensive list of different music for different parts of your wedding. So your grand entrance music, your suggested first dance, your last dance, your father, daughter, mother, son. So that'll help you or alleviate a lot of the stress of having to come up with a song out of nowhere. And I'd be happy to email that to you.
How do I know what kind of equipment to ask for? Because I know nothing about DJing.
When you're meeting or interviewing your wedding DJs, there's two essential things I would look out for. One is ask and make sure that they have a wireless microphone. I know it's easy to assume that they'll have one, but it's essential to have a wireless microphone for toasts and just for the overall flow of your wedding reception. The other thing I'd also recommend, something that's made our weddings very successful, is in addition to the speakers and the sound system, the basic sound system, we always bring 2 additional speakers to put in the back of the reception area so that all of your guests are able to hear all of the toasts and all the announcements. Sometimes people in the back aren't able to really hear everything because the main sound system is on the dance floor, so it's really important to have those what we call fill speakers. And then just lastly, I would say lighting makes a huge impact on your dance floor. If you have a dance floor with no lighting, people are confused. Once you bring the lighting on, it just really helps define and make people comfortable when it comes time to open up the dance floor.
So any tips and tricks, Richard, that you can possibly fill us in? Any further inside detail that we should be aware of?
One of the things that I always recommend when you're meeting with your venue is a smaller dance floor is always better. If your dance floor is massive, if it looks huge, unfortunately, even if you have 50 or 60 or more people on the dance floor, if the dance floor looks massive, then it's going to look empty. It's going to look like it's boring or it's not happening. It's not a fun party. So I always recommend going for the smaller dance floor. That way the dance floor and the party looks happening and fun throughout the entire reception. The other thing I also recommend is because your wedding DJ and wedding MC, they have about 80% of the responsibility during your reception. It's really important to know that and interview and work with someone who's very experienced in weddings. A wedding DJ is very different from a DJ you'll find at a school dance or a barbecue. Or a nightclub. You really want someone that knows all the ins and outs of weddings so that they can help make it stress-free for you and they can anticipate anything that can go wrong and get you back on schedule just in case you happen to get off schedule.
DJing and executed with military precision from Richard Martinez right here.